Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Sarcastic Barman and welcome to my channel. Now, earlier in the week, one of you lovely, crazy, lovely members decided to send me a link to a Telegram page. A Telegram page full of woo crazy, wooey woo crazy. And I mean serious wooey wooey crazy. Now, it's the first time I've been on Telegram, so we had a look through and we've discovered a couple of things about Telegram. One, Telegram is terrible. It's so badly organised, fucking optimised and everything. It's poop. It's really poop. But we did find one of the videos that was on the Telegram page and decided to pull it up and found it on YouTube. So we're going to have a look at that one. Yeah. The craziness is strong with this one. So let's roll the intro and crack straight into it, shall we?
Hi everyone, it's Naomi Wolf.
Ah yes, it's Naomi Wolf, and no, we will not be using the term doctor, considering I feel like doctor should only be used for people who actually have a doctorate in something medical. Like I feel like anyone doing science should always be called professor, whether they're not or not, I don't care, they're doing science, it's cool, it's like, you're a professor. Yeah, anyway, but yes, doctor should be a medical term, not a philosopher's term, because that's what her doctorate's in, philosophy. Joy. I mean, she did go to Yale, it's a good doctorate to have, nothing against that, but the fact you're putting doctor in front of your name just leads me to believe you want people to think you've got a medical doctorate, and that's why they should pay any attention to you whatsoever. I mean, I think we can tell what my fucking title is at this point, it's in the name, if you haven't figured it out by this point. God help you. But, let's see what this woman's going to ramble the fuck on about.
Naomi Wolf, CEO of Daily Cloud, and as I promised, I'm here to talk about the vaccine passports. I appeared on Fox yesterday to share my warning about the vaccine passports, and I got hundreds and hundreds of emails from across the political spectrum.
Oh, really? Vaccine passports we're going to talk about today. Hopefully you're going to take the interesting and proper side of this and say how things like vaccine passports helped us eradicate smallpox, and how anyone coming to America in the early 1900s had to prove they had the vaccine. This was either done with paperwork, seeing the smallpox scars to know that they'd recovered from it, or what became the most prevalent and easiest way was to show people the scar you'd had from the vaccine itself. I mean, your father immigrated from Romania to America in 1930, so he would have had to do this. Anyone who couldn't emigrate into the country was vaccinated on the spot. It's as simple as that. Hence why we don't have smallpox anymore. Isn't that nice? But I have that feeling you're really going to twist all this and make it all horrible and forget that we've been through all this before and it helped eradicate a disease. I'm going to find the drink now.
Saying, I'm scared too, what can I do to help? So I just wanted to take more time to explain what exactly the vaccine passports are, because there's a lot of, I wouldn't say misinformation, I would say lack of appropriate warning about what this platform really represents.
Now, at the moment in the US, there is no sort of unified idea of a vaccine passport. Some states are for it, some states are against it. The Biden administration has so far said they don't have any plans and they don't really want Americans to have to carry proof of vaccination or negative test results, but that doesn't mean it can't happen at the state level. Places like Hawaii are all for it, places like Texas are all against it. Who knew? But also you have something called the Excelsior Pass in New York, which is required to get into certain venues, and that basically logs people's either negative test results or vaccine results, and it's basically the QR code that can be scanned off somebody else's phone, so the venue can scan it, go, yes, you're fine to come in, no, you can't because you've not been vaccinated, you've not had a test, so go away. And yeah, it's very, very much similar to the early 1900s and smallpox and helping us eradicate all of that. The UK seems to be going a bit further. We are looking at more for international travel in the long term. We are piloting things to do with the FA Cup finals and things like that, snookers and comedy clubs, that vaccines or negative test results have to be provided for going in. It's on a pilot basis at the moment. Yeah, as simple as that. And I run a pub, and I'm quite happy to say, yeah, if it's a simple scan code, as long as the vaccine's been offered to everyone by that point, and everyone's had the chance to have it, or have a test result, or anything like that, I'd be quite happy. It can't come in before everyone's had a chance to have the vaccine, shall we say, or have a negative test result, or have a system in place as well for those who cannot get vaccinated. So when it scans, it just says, yes, enter. I don't actually want to see people's medical records, whether they've had it, whether they've had a test result, just a tick or a cross on whether they can come in. That would keep me happy in my business, especially if I can then keep other people who can't get the vaccine safe themselves. But let's see what you're going to say, and I bet it's going to be nutballed.
So this is probably the most serious warning I've ever given. As I said earlier, I've been warning everyone since 2008 that we could slip into a fascist reality, and the vaccine passports really are the last step, and, you know, as someone said today, the hill worth dying on.
Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Vaccine passports are not a new thing. Some countries have required evidence that you've been vaccinated for yellow fever for fecking years. And no, I'm not going to read the list off again. I did it in a video not long ago. I might do text scroll on one of these sides now of countries where it's recommended and countries where you have to have it, because yellow fever is still a problem in those countries, and yeah, it could just result in your death. So there is that. We will then reiterate the fact that your father more than likely had to provide evidence of vaccination to enter the US. This is not something new. This is something we have been through, and it wasn't considered fascist then, and it's not considered fascist now. There are rules in society, and the basic rule is you don't be an asshole and you look after people around you where possible. And that's all this vaccine passport is basically there for. You've had the vaccine, or you've had a negative test result, or you can't have it but you're allowed to come in. That's fine. There we go. Simple as. You're taking it as, well, I don't know at this point because we haven't got there, but you think it's going to be dangerous. I really don't think you've thought this through or done any research into it at all, because if you had, you then go, I'm going to sound a bit odd doing this, aren't I? And yes, you fucking do.
Or the last fight that we have to fight, because once the passport vaccines are accepted, there is no more resistance. There is no more choice. So let me explain, as CEO of a tech company, Daily Cloud, exactly why this, not even proposal, it's being rolled out in Israel. It was rolled out in Israel.
Yeah, Israel does have the equivalent of a vaccine passport. It's called Green Pass. But you know what's really cool about it? You don't actually have to have the vaccine to be able to use the features of Green Pass. You can get on it for a 48-hour period as long as you've had a negative test result. So have your negative test result, you then have a 48-hour period where, yeah, you are basically eligible for the Green Pass. You can go to venues, you can go to restaurants, you can go to pubs. You can basically continue on with your normal everyday life. You don't have to have the vaccine. You just have to show that you're not going to be contagious and freaking possibly kill someone who can't have the vaccine, but is still allowed in those areas because of other medical reasons. Your point is what? Because I feel like you're just digging yourself this really big hole where you're really, really, really gonna wish you fucking hadn't, and you're just gonna come out to be a fucking moron.
It's being promoted in Britain that you have to scan your vaccine passport in order to go to a pub and have a pint. It's, you know, President Biden in America said this is going to be mandated. My tyrannical Governor Andrew Cuomo, said that it's got to be, you know, rolled out, the Excelsior Pass.
Your lack of research here is Absolutely appalling. There is no vaccine passport in the UK required for entry into a pub. The idea has been talked about, and at the moment we don't think it's a good idea. Maybe later on, who knows? But it's just one of those things. I have to ID people to make sure they come in for alcohol. Let's just say, yeah, I've got to also scan your little vaccine passport on your NHS app, which surprisingly so many people don't have the NHS app just for track and trace, which is just ridiculous at this point. But no, the US government has not said we're going to do vaccine passports. In fact, some states have banned the idea of vaccine passports. Texas and Florida being two of the main ones that say, no, you're not going to do vaccine passports. Here is a ban for it. Hawaii, yes, they want to have vaccine passports. And yes, you brought up the Excelsior Pass. And yet it's being trialled in part with IBM, New York, and they're going through it, mainly to ensure that people can have the large public gatherings that are currently not allowed. So basically, you can return back to normal quicker. You never know, vaccine passports might just become a thing later down the road for international travel to make sure you're not spreading from a disease-free country to a country that's still got the disease, vice versa, and backwards and forwards and round and round. But you would know this if you actually did any research on it. You obviously haven't. Same as everything we've mentioned earlier. You're just failing well and truly here and showing the world how much of a moron you actually are.
That IBM is creating, it's happening at warp speed. So please don't be fooled. This is the most dangerous tool that humanity has faced in my lifetime, if not ever, in terms of human liberty.
Really? Because the idea of vaccine passports has been around for a long time. As we've said before, I feel like a broken record at this point. I just get to a fucking point though. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, it's so bad. Why? I feel like all you're doing at the moment is poisoning the fucking well. And, oh, you're not even doing it that well.
Basically, let me explain a little nerdy tech detail. When you sign up on a website, or on an app, there's a place where you sign your name and you choose a password, and then there's a list of terms and conditions, and you agree to them. Well, that's really important. It seems insignificant, but it's really important because what it means is you have choice. You can read the terms and conditions and you can think, this is too tyrannical, they're going to sell my private details, I'm not willing to agree to these terms and conditions, they're not in my favor. And the password and username means that you get to decide when you log on to TD Bank or when you log on to PayPal. You're not walking around your daily life logged into PayPal. You're not walking around your daily life logged into, a credit score.
And yet, how many people probably log out of things like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, things that track you day in, day out, and wherever you goddamn go? Probably no one. And as for credit scores, you use a credit card, use a debit card, the transaction's there, people know that you're spending money, this is what goes towards your credit score, your direct debits, everything like that. So even if you're not logged into the app or have never used the app, the data's still being collated and it's still being monitored and then put towards when you then go and go, I want a credit score app. There we go. Sorted. You still haven't got to a point of why a vaccine passport is a bad idea.
So that's really, really important. You're in control. So with the vaccine passports, none of that will be the case. Everyone has to be participating all the time. And what I mean by that is if you don't participate, you don't get let into the supermarket to buy food. You don't get let into the pub to meet your friends. You can't get into the restaurant. You can't travel on an airplane. You can't travel on a bus. You can't travel on a train.
Right, no. Just fucking no. No one has said anything about having to have a vaccine passport to go to a supermarket. It's for public gatherings, private businesses, cruise ships, things like that. Yeah, if you want to come on our cruise ship, you've got to have a vaccine. If you want to come to this large concert thing, you've got to have a vaccine. For when and if it comes into pubs, if you want to come to our pub, you've got to have a vaccine or a test result or equivalent, antibody test, anything like that. So it's, do you agree to our terms of service? No. Okay, bye-bye. It's as simple as that. You still have the choice. Nowhere has anyone said anything about supermarkets, basic utilities or anything like that. And I have been scouring, going through bits for shopping and things like that. And no, there is nothing there. But you know what? It's that horrible word that even if there was and said, yeah, if you want to come into our supermarket, you've got to have a vaccine, but we offer home delivery. You're still going to be able to buy food, aren't you? You're still going to be able to get that stuff there. No one is going to let you starve because you don't want to get the vaccine. Or you can go for the Israeli route, whereas, no, I don't want to get the vaccine, but I've got a test result that I got 2 hours ago. Right, you've still got 46 hours left where you can go and do whatever you want as if you had the vaccine because you've had a negative test result. Brilliant. You are just being an ass at this point, aren't you? It's scaremongering stupidness. And I really hope this isn't going to... How much longer is on this video? Not long, thank fuck, because I'm getting annoyed at you.
And it's not just that you're forced to participate. I can't say this any more clearly. The vaccine passport platform is the same platform as a social credit system. I'm going to say that again because it's so important. The vaccine passport platform is the same platform as a social credit system, like in China, that enslaves 8 billion people. In China, the CCP can find any dissident in 5 minutes because of the 360-degree surveillance of the social credit system. And it means that when you act like a good citizen, you get a boost, and when you act like a bad citizen, opportunities get closed to you. Maybe your child doesn't get into college or get into prep school. Maybe, you don't get that job, you don't get that promotion.
No, it's not, you crazy fucking cow. You are nutballed fucking crazy deep in conspiracy fucking land, aren't you? Because even in the UK, where not everyone has a smartphone, you do realise this, so they can't track physically everyone with their smartphone and vaccine things, that there's provision there for pen and paper. How do they track what's on a pen and paper? Well, they can't really, can they? And if you're saying, what are the vaccine passport, you're going to have one. No, because they've even put provisions in place that if you want to travel abroad to somewhere like Greece or I can't remember the other country that was mentioned that have been put in the amber where you're going to have a vaccine to go there, you can go to your doctor and get a paper copy of your vaccine record. The same as people have had to do for yellow fever to go to countries for fucking years. This is not a new thing. You're acting as if the whole world is changing around this vaccine passport idea that hasn't been used for over 100 fucking years. For fuck's sake, you are the most useless piece of scrotum crap on the internet at the moment. And trust me, I look at a lot of fucking nutters on the internet. And you are ranking fucking high up there. You really are. Your basic misunderstanding of everything that's going on and your fucking craziness. And the fact you want to put doctor at the front of your name to try and make people think you're a fucking doctorate of something important is just a fucking joke. And you are a fucking joke. Fuck, we've got like 2 minutes. Let's get the rest of this video out the way and I'll have a proper fucking rant at you.
The vaccine passport that is being proposed in the rest of the West is the same platform. I can't say that enough. Speaking as a tech CEO, what I mean is once this platform rolls out, any other functionality can be linked to it with no problem, right? Any other functionality can be linked to it. What does that mean? It means that with a tweak of the back end, like virtually no extra development, PayPal can be switched off and on depending on how machine reading assesses what you've been saying on social media. So if you've been too conservative or too liberal, or you've used the word Trump too often, or the words...
Well, that was a random abrupt ending. That's where the video ended for the source I had. No, I'm not going to try and find another source, because why the fuck should I? If the uploader's too stupid to upload a whole thing, or you are just too stupid to make a whole video go on the internet properly, then fuck both of you, really. Anyway, no. Comparing the rest of the world to China's a bit fucking weird, but okay. But then you seem to have the idea that this vaccine passport's going to be linked to your social media, linked to your everything. No, anyone who's got it for the understanding of what a vaccine passport might be done, yes, it's going to be logging through biometrics or fingerprints or something like that. That doesn't have to be connected to any social media or any other information, does it? No, it fucking doesn't. And there are paper provisions in place which are definitely not connected to fucking anything, are they? No, they're fucking not. I mean, you have just failed completely and utterly on the internet and basically wasted several hours of my day. I mean, it's good to read up more about vaccine passports. I've only read basic bits until now, but fuck my life, you don't seem to have even done the basic bits. You've just seen these countries have vaccine passports. This country might have a vaccine passport. Oh my word, the whole world is going to end because people are talking about vaccine passports. Shut the fuck up and grow a fucking extra brain cell. I think the one that's between your ears is getting fucking lonely at this fucking point. Jesus Christ, woman, you are a conspiratard of the highest fucking order. Should stick you in a room with flat earthers. I feel like you'd get on fucking so well. But just fucking no. Now it's been a bit of a longer video than normal because fuck my life, it needs to be fully addressed and I fucking wish I hadn't now. But don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe down below. Leave me some comments what you think about vaccine passports. I'd love to get the audience's sort of feel of, are you for a vaccine passport? Are you against a vaccine passport? Do you just want one for travelling? Do you agree with one for large events like concerts or anything like that? Sports venues, should they have them because there's a lot of people in close proximity? What's your general feel and understanding of what a vaccine passport might involve, what you would want it to involve, or why you don't like the idea of them? Because I feel like there's going to be an easy 2-3 different opinions on here on what people want, what people are after from a vaccine passport. Right, I feel like that's enough of that. I hope everyone checked out See You Next Tuesday. The other day we had the absolutely amazing Arthur Stewart on because, yes, I'm recording this on the day it's actually going live, so I'm saying he's amazing because he better be amazing because otherwise I'll be really upset. Please be a good show. Please be a good show. For fuck's sake. There's poker later tonight. I don't know if there's any more premieres on Premiere Thursday. Fuck, I'm still going to keep calling it Leslie Rubber Bubbles because I like that name. No one else could say it. I can't say it and I don't care. But yeah, I've probably gone well over my 15-minute slot, so it doesn't matter if I talk for a few more minutes. What else is coming up? Pub chat, pokers, all sorts of stuff. There probably will be some poker again at some point. And I will promise to try and get another live stream out over in the Pizza Hut when I get a chance. It's just at the moment, it's just been back and forth and the weather's been shite, as you heard from the wind the last time I tried to do them. Right, on that note, I really am going now. Thank you very much, everyone. Good night.